Good morning, everyone. Welcome into the Monday Morning Scramble. Lisa Matthews here with you alongside Craig Grialou, Zach Galia, and Kyle Odegard. This is our new show every Monday following a game to just hash it out, dish it out, recap the game, and give you as many breakfast puns as possible. So we will be keeping track of that. So bring your A game, guys.
Well, I am so excited to be here, Lisa.
Starting off hot off the griddle.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been practicing.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not
you
gonna
guys
lie.
have
You guys
practiced.
even watch the game?
I know. I was just writing down everything we.
I had all these notes written down and no breakfast puns.
Excited. There goes that one. All right. Well, let's get into the main dish for today's show. Obviously, just want to get your initial reactions. Oddly enough, I'm satisfied. 27-27 tie against the Lions yesterday. Just your initial thoughts, Kyle.
I think if you want to look sunny side up at this, really bad start, incredible finish. We saw everything that I thought we would from Kyler Murray, from a little bit of, seems like nervousness early on. He was more inaccurate than you saw in the preseason because he probably had those nerves, but settled down. You saw everything, the arm talent, the scrambling ability. I mean, I think if you're a Cardinals fan, you're pretty excited, even though it was a tie.
Exactly. And I mean, it just was a tale of two games. It almost was of the 3 quarters of inaccurate passes and batted passes at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't look comfortable. Do you feel, Craig, like that might have been just a hangover from preseason, not being able to go against opponents and live action and really being able to execute their playbook?
I just think it was the fact that they couldn't sustain any drives, whether it was the incompletions or some penalties. You start playing behind the sticks, and then you can't get into a rhythm. And I think that was the biggest thing offensively through those first 3 quarters, because this team, what was it, in the first 3 quarters, they were 3 of 13 on third down.
Ooh, yeah.
And that's, you've got to be able to sustain something. And as Kingsbury said last night, it was partially his fault, but I think a lot of it was just the execution, not being able to move the chains.
And Zach, you're the social media manager director, so you were scanning through Twitter and all the comments, and
Always
it's just
a fun place to
always
be.
a fun place to live. And God bless you and what you have to do.
Yeah, I mean, very similar to the game. It was kind of grim to start, but as we kind of proceeded through, everyone got a little bit more excited. You could feel it kind of building. I kind of feel it's kind of one of those yogurts with the fruit at the bottom.
Okay.
The first little bit.
That's
you're
a
just not
great
like-
analogy.
Well, I guess, yeah. But if you're eating the top, it's like, it's okay. It's a decent breakfast. But then you get to the bottom, and that's when
The
all
payoff.
excitement
See, I get my yogurt and I mix it up. I
Yeah.
get the granola, I mix it up right away.
Well,
and so that's what fans wanted to see. They came, bought tickets to see this innovative offense. Kingsbury, Kyler, we're in nature, by the way, so things are flying around here. Kyler Murray, see what they could do. So I think that was part of just the frustration, I know for me, but then it was about getting Kyler comfortable. He said he got too cute early on. So it's just getting him comfortable, getting in a rhythm. So that's going to be a main thing heading on the road this week to Baltimore. Just they've been wanting to start fast. We really didn't even see it in Minnesota with all of the starters starting fast, but that's going to be a point of emphasis this week, right?
Yeah, and I mean, as much focus as we had on Kyler Murray's first game, it was Cliff Kingsbury's first NFL coaching game.
Right.
And he even said, I was too excited and I was trying to be too creative, and it got the Cardinals a little bit out of their rhythm offensively. And once he settled down, Kyler Murray settled down,
Right.
everything came together a lot better.
Just took
There-
some time.
Yeah, I mean, there's still going to be bumps. You're going on the road for the first time. You're going to have to deal with that. But I mean, overall, I think you just can't walk on eggshells. You have to go in there and be excited
I
about
feel
it.
like
You know
he's
what-
killing this.
He's in the lead
play
for
calling
sure.
And what Kingsbury was talking about, like a breakfast buffet. You have just so many options
Right.
in front of you, and you want a little bit of everything.
Yes, that's very true.
And then you get back to your seat, and you get full too quickly. I mean, just take
Really
what
on
you
the
like.
meat and potatoes.
Yeah, and then
That's a
and
good
then
life
go for
lesson there.
seconds. And I think what you'll see now from this offense is you figure out what works, and let's not put a whole bunch in and make it a big scramble. Let's figure out what we really like to digest.
You guys are there. You guys are
was
coming in
impressive.
hot today. First show. I need to step up my game on these puns. All right. Well, I lost my pen, but we're gonna get into our rise and shine players of the game. We're all gonna pick a player. I'm gonna use yours after you're done. Oh, thank you. Pick a player of the game, and then explain why. We will reveal at the same time. We'll start with Zach. So pressure's on. We will.
All right, well, I'm leading the way.
Okay.
So I went with Zane Gonzalez. Maybe not the pick you would think of after that game, but he misses even one of his field goals or extra points, and the game's out of hand. So being on target, being accurate, none of them were necessarily long kicks by any means, but being perfect was a big part of that.
And he actually was my player before the fourth quarter happened. So, all right, good choice.
All right, it's going to be hard to see because it gave me a pen that doesn't work. But I'm going to go with maybe the one of the two obvious was Larry Fitzgerald. I mean, he was so dynamic in that fourth quarter and in overtime. He only had 2 catches for 9 yards through the first 3 quarters, finished for 8 for 113 and a touchdown. So just basic standard breakfast, 2 eggs, some bacon, some toast. Consistency, Mr. Larry Fitzgerald.
And before the show, when you asked me, hey, do we pick the obvious here? Well, yes, don't get too cute. Follow suit of Kingsbury. Just go with what the obvious is. And he obviously ignited the offense, and just to have Kyler, to have him there, and you get the crowd involved and the momentum building, that's an obvious choice. So I agree with that. All right, mine is Murray. Another obvious, but no question.
Which one?
Which one?
Murray Magic.
Okay.
Fourth quarter Magic, just to come back and just keep his cool throughout the entire. This is a rookie in his debut, and the way that he came out just so flat, it would have, and any rookie in that case would have not been able to come back the way he did. But just to come back and lead this team, keep the momentum going in the fourth, to be able to just even tie this game up, it was something that I couldn't even imagine happening when I was watching the first 3 quarters. But I would say he's my rise and shine player of the game.
Do I have to go last every time? Because I feel like I'm going to double up somebody every week.
It's fine. Give us something
I also
new.
went with Fitz.
Okay.
I mean, clear, obvious. Yeah. The offense was bogged down, and then he had that big 41-yard catch in the fourth quarter. He did his primal scream. I think he got the crowd going. He got the offense going. He let everybody relax and say, yeah, we're down by, I think, 18 points right now, but we still have a chance. And I think the players fed off of that. Fantastic game. Still making those 50-50 catches, diving down the field. I mean, the guy's 36 years old, oldest receiver in the NFL, still coming up with unbelievable plays.
Yeah, he had a 41 and a 45-yarder, and it just shows how important it is to have a veteran, and then to have a veteran like Larry Fitzgerald just to go to. It just, he's definitely a rise and shine player.
Honorable mention, though, as we talked about.
Yes, we have honorable mentions.
Okay.
The Which Murray, but Justin Murray getting the start at right tackle, and without dissecting all of the plays, I think he acquitted himself very, very well. I mean, Kyler Murray was sacked 5 times, but a lot of that could have been coverage. He ran out of bounds once. J.R. Sweezy sacked the quarterback.
A pancake.
But I think, for a first time out, considering he was with the team for a week,
right,
and it was a
plug and
crash
play
course. Off the offense, hats off to him.
And Jordan Hicks, too, another guy, 14 tackles. Did I take yours?
I was going to try to do a pun, but go ahead.
Oh, give me a pun. I don't have anything for
you. Thought he might get burnt, but
like toast.
Yeah, but Justin Murray held up very well.
He sure did. Jordan Hicks, it's fine. We're live. You wanted to get your pun in. We're hashing it out. Jordan Hicks, another player, just 14 tackles, 2 for tackle for loss. Yeah, I mean, truly show that he is the quarterback of this defense, and he was just all over the place yesterday.
And another ageless wonder, Terrell Suggs, 2 sacks, had the strip sack.
First with the Cardinals.
Yep, looked pretty good, and expect some big things going back home to Baltimore too.
Yep, it will be a big week. All right, let's bring home the bacon. Final thoughts here. We're starting with Zach.
I mean, just like we talked about, it was a slow start, but the offense built on everything that we kind of thought that was going to happen throughout the offseason. A couple hiccups here and there, but I think you're going to get that when you don't see the full offense until week 1. Yeah. So definitely a promising finish to the game, maybe not a start, but looking forward to going to Baltimore and seeing what else we got.
Yeah, Greg?
I think you have to be encouraged, not only offensively, but defensively, and then you're sitting here after 1 week and the overreaction Monday, but this team didn't lose the game. They didn't win. You're basically starting pretty much all over again next week at Baltimore, and we know what the Ravens did to the Miami Dolphins, but I'd be hard-pressed if the Ravens do that on this consistent basis this season. But I think encouraged you have to be considering how this game ended the fourth quarter and overtime.
Absolutely, and oddly enough, I'm just satisfied. I wouldn't say that with most ties. I remember, was it against Seattle, just feeling like it was a loss. Bad taste in my mouth. I had to get that in there. So now just being able to move forward with this kind of momentum heading into Baltimore, and at least Murray feels comfortable. Cliff can change something. I like the way that he adjusted too. That's one thing that was impressive with Kingsbury, and so we'll see. It's just a good taste in my mouth this morning.
And we talk a lot about the offense. I thought the cornerbacks, the young cornerbacks especially, Byron Murphy, Chris Jones, guys who didn't have much experience, I thought they held up really well. And you look at Matthew Stafford's stat line, and he threw for a lot of yards, but a lot of it was to TJ Hawkinson, their rookie tight end, who looked great, mostly against linebackers and safeties. So even though Patrick Peterson and Robert Alford didn't play, those young cornerbacks stepped up, and that's going to be big moving forward. We can talk about the offense as much as we want, but if you can't stop the pass in the NFL, you're going to be hard-pressed to win games, and I thought those two did a nice job.
All right, guys. Well, great start to this Monday morning scramble. Let's do a little toast, as Larry Fitzgerald would say. We're still undefeated. Thanks for joining us here. We will be here every Monday morning on YouTube, 9 a.m. We'll see you next time. Have a great rest of your day.